Today I'm sharing 3 floral projects that are meant to help you get inspired and feel creative again. If you don't know what to paint, try these projects. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. Hey gang, what's up? My name is Shayda. So, if you love to paint and draw, it stands to reason that sometimes you probably run out of ideas. And if you love botanicals like I do, then you're cool. So today we're going to put those two together and we're going to give you some sketchbook ideas, fun things to draw that are all floral based, that hopefully will get those creative juices flowing. So the first one is one that I go back to again and again, and that's a wreath. Now you can see I've traced a circle onto my watercolor paper here. And then the first thing I'm going to do is simply work out a color palette. I'm going to work solely in green. And so I've got an olive green, then I've lightened the olive green with a bit of water. Then I'm using a deep phthalo green. And then I've mixed a bit of brown with that really deep green to give me an even darker green. So those are my colors. I've got that figured out. Now what I want to do is I'm using a really small number 2 or number 3 pointed round brush, and I'm going to use the olive green to do this one single leaf design. And I'm using the belly of the brush and just adding a tiny little bit of pressure to make the shape of each leaf. I'm almost just flicking the brush. So each leaf is one little brush stroke, and then the stems and branches are all created by, just dragging that very delicate point of the brush across the page. I'm going to go all the way around the wreath and do my little leaf design in this olive green. I'm leaving space in between each little branch, but I will go around the entire circle. And the wreath comes together really easy in this way, and this is a wonderful way to practice your watercolor painting and your brush strokes. So with the first leaf design done, I'm going to take that really watered down olive green on just the tip of my tiny little brush. I'm using a number 1 round brush now, and I'm doing a second leaf design. You can follow along with mine, or you can develop your own leaves. Sometimes there's a leaf that just, is really natural for you to paint. So I suggest doing ones that feel good to you. Whatever sort of comes naturally from your brush onto the paper, just go with it. But the second one I did make a little larger. And then of course you can see where this is going. I'm taking the deep phthalo green, the really dark one, and I'm going to add a third leaf design. And this one I kind of was trying to make like these more rounded leaves. So you can see me kind of trying to work those out, and they're all a little different. Some are a little larger, and I'm making some a bit messy. So none of this has to be perfect. Remember, with botanicals, it should look organic and natural and perfectly imperfect. If it looks too good, it'll look weird. So just have fun and think about the brush strokes, think about the process of painting rather than the finished product. I went all the way around with that little round one. It's the same idea, just use 1 or 2 brush strokes to paint each leaf. So each leaf, even though they're different shapes, it's the same kind of drill. And to finish the wreath, I'm going around here and kind of trying to think, where do I need another little leaf? I've kind of gone back to the original leaf design, that really delicate one, and I'm just adding little branches where I need one. Finally, I'm titling it Wreath, very creative, I know. And that's it. This is such a fun way to paint something, enjoy a bit of watercolor time, and the circular form means you know where you're going and you don't have to overthink it. If you're looking for more creative content, be sure to check out my Patreon site. This weekend, I'm giving a coloring page. At the start of the month, there's always an extra tutorial. Check it out after today's video. Okay, I think you're really going to like our next floral project. It's black and white, it's positive negative. So I'm starting in my little sketchbook. I've got a small black rectangle of paper cut here. And we are going to grab a glue stick and just glue that in, get it close to center as possible. And I'm putting mine a little lower on the page. And then that's our setup. And what I'll do is take a pencil and we're going to just quickly sketch some really simple flowers. I'm doing kind of like a loose poppy, this big 4-petal flower with large oval-shaped leaves, and then I'm going to border it with some smaller leaves. I'm starting the illustration on the black and then continuing it onto the white page. So with that little sketch done, what we're going to do is take a white gel pen. Make sure you have some scrap paper because sometimes gel pens, the ink will actually build up on the end of the nib and you just need to kind of get it off. And we are going to begin on the black and go over the entire sketch. Now, how much you fill it in is kind of up to you. What I started with was for the flowers, I was filling them in their entirety. So you can see I'm really, putting a lot of ink there. And then for the leaves, I was doing more like line shading. So just do whatever you think looks good. There is a little element of you need to think about this positive negative image. With the white, you are going to leave a little space in between each petal. So instead of drawing the lines where each petal would be, you're going to actually leave that blank and just let that black page show through. I think that makes sense. And if you keep the illustration simple, it won't be that difficult. And then I kind of felt like the line shading on the leaves looked a little messy, so I kind of started filling them in a bit heavier, just like I was doing on the petals. But that's really all the kind of thinking I had to do for this piece. So think about the positive negative image and how much you want to fill in. And you don't have to use a gel pen. There are other products like Sakura actually makes paint pens that I think would also work well for this. And you know what? I will actually link to a few of those other products on the blog because I think you might find that helpful. So head over to my blog. I always link all my supplies over there. And I also post still photos of the artwork because I know a lot of you find that helpful. Okay, and then once the white portion of the illustration is complete, we're going to take a black fine liner. Anything would do here. You could use a Pigma Micron. I'm using my Derwent graphic line marker, just, whatever, any black pen. And we are going to continue that black part of the illustration. This is when it really starts to come together and you can see how the whole piece is really going to pop when it's finished and you've got this beautiful positive negative illustration. So I'm continuing all my little branches and stems and leaves. If you find it easier to work in one way, just move that page around, flip it upside down, whatever you need to do. And yeah, that's about it. I am all done. Actually, no, strike that. I'm not quite done. There was a few, areas, and I think you'll find there are a few areas where maybe you need to continue a little branch or something. You added a leaf in black, so you need to continue it in white. But once you're all done, we'll put that pen down, and that is our beautiful floral black and white illustration. I'm going to title this one as well. It's just a nice way to finish your sketchbook pieces, to add a little signature or a title. It makes them look so profesh, and that is all done. Okay, third project. This might be my favorite. It's fun and messy and experimental, but still pretty. So what you need is a watercolor brush pen. I am using the Koi water brush pen. I love these Koi markers because I use them for my journaling. They're water-based, so they don't bleed through the paper. They're great on their own, but you can also add water to them. So awesome product. Grab some clean water and 1 or 2 little paint brushes. Anything will do, and that's all you need. Now I'm working in my little sketchbook. Again, go to the blog if you'd like the supply links, or check the video description for a link to Amazon. And starting with this blue brush pen, the watercolor brush pen, we are just going to sketch some pretty yet messy and loose florals. So I am doing these, again, simple 4-petal flowers, like nothing special, nothing complicated, and some little branches and leaves. The nice thing about the brush pens is that you can use them almost like a paintbrush, where you're dragging the belly across the page and using just the tip of that brush to do the delicate areas like thin lines for stems, branches, what have you. And anytime you need to do a larger leaf, you can actually use the brush to your advantage and drag it across the page and see what sort of natural and organic shape emerges. I'm going to go along and just fill the entire page with flowers and leaves, and think about doing leaves of different sizes and a few smaller flowers as well. That'll just look pretty to have that variation of size. And fill the page as much as you like. You don't have to put the flowers as close together as mine. Then what we'll do is get a little bit of clean water on the end of our paintbrush, and we're going to come over here and start to mess up the illustration a little. What I have in mind for this piece is the idea is a porcelain plate, like a beautiful blue and white porcelain plate that got water on it, and somehow the water actually messed up the design. So I almost want it to look like a spill, but yet really delicate and beautiful at the same time. So I'm not going to add water to all of the flowers and leaves. I'll just add water kind of willy-nilly, like I'll put a bit of water on half of a flower or just 2 of 4 leaves. So you can see I'm going around here and just kind of making a mess. I want it to look like water was splashed on the page, and it was very random, yet it all kind of worked out and it still looked lovely. So we're just adding clean water kind of wherever, and yeah, that's it. There's a real contrast of hard and soft, I think, and doing it in blue with the white is just so beautiful. But you could also try this with just brown or whatever speaks to you. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to rinse that brush, and that is our third project all done. This one will really get you feeling creative, I think, if you're not already. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you are feeling inspired. So here are the 3 ideas for art when you're bored and you don't know what to paint. Try a wreath. It's just a good thing to paint or draw. Try this positive, negative, black and white floral illustration. That one is so much fun, and it's different and it's graphic. Or do my messy porcelain flowers that got wet and still looked pretty. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. If you're an artist or creative who's trying to turn your hobby into a career, Squarespace can help you build a beautiful professional website and make your dream a reality. I chose one of their templates and built my own website, and I was really impressed with the galleries and portfolios. You can easily upload your own photos either from your computer or from your social media, which is nice. They have automatic image scaling, which means your images are never skewed. You can edit them online, and you can even open your own shop. Squarespace makes taking payments easy, which is incredible. And if you run into trouble, they have 24/7 email support, so you can ask a question and get an answer. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Shayda Campbell to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.